Jobs don't want to hire me. Nobody wants me to be their girlfriend. I only have 2 friends. It's me, guys. It's me. And I'm not as cool as I thought.
If you're ever confused whether or not you like a man and you need to figure out if you do, FaceTime him. FaceTime him, FaceTime him, FaceTime him. If you stare at his photo and not yours, you like him. If you stare at your photo, you like the attention, sweetie. I hate to break it to you.
I swear, I'm like, oh, I want a boyfriend, I want to meet somebody, and then things like this happen to me, and I'm like, what? Do I? I was just at Target. I was shopping for book club snacks. I book club tonight. I was looking at wine, and this man came up to me, and he asked a question. One of those questions that was a setup for a pickup line, and I knew it was, and you guys, I don't know, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, so do you want to know what I did? I pretended I didn't speak English. I know. I didn't have it in me. I couldn't handle it. It just like wasn't the day, so I pretended I didn't speak English to get out of talking to a man. Not something I'm proud of. We listen, we don't judge, okay? Just wanted to get my book club snacks and go home, and I couldn't do it.
Ladies, where are we finding the men that don't make us cry? The tarot readers keep telling me that he's coming. Where is he? Where do you find him? Where do you get that? Amazon?
You know what actually pisses me off? And this is gonna sound bad, but whatever. You know when you get hit on by a middle-aged man who has absolutely no business hitting on you, because where do they get that confidence? I want that. If I had that type of confidence, I would be unstoppable. I would be the president of the United States. I wasn't even born here.
You know, these modern women really don't understand that they are not as fine as they think they are.
I noticed this, so I want to know if y'all notice this. You ever notice, will get up here and make a video belittling, telling them what they don't do, what they need to do, and all this other shit. You always notice there's always one of this done up. Makeup is tea. Look nice. I ain't gonna lie. I never been a hater. Hair laid. Like, when y'all get y'all wigs done and y'all makeup done and y'all nails done, I think y'all get a certain confidence boost and y'all decide to put y'all phones up and make videos. And that's cool and all, but make that same video with your regular face. Like, let's see how you really look under all that shit and then see if you still got that same energy. Because I think y'all get a little confidence boost when y'all get done up. And it's like, I think you want to make it seem like, oh, you need to be with me. I'm a bad, but are you really? Are you really? Because if you take all that shit off right now, put your hair in a bun, like a tight-ass bun to the back of your head, no makeup on, no lashes, is still going to really need to do all the shit you need to do for you? I don't think so. I tell y'all, a lot of y'all bitches look like Sam Cassell without makeup. And it's very, very heartbreaking to me that y'all really walk around here thinking that I need to do shit for you. You're not even doing shit for yourself. You're a bum. I've never seen so many money hungry without money in their pocket. How you always want to do something with their money that's not even yours?
Let me get this straight. In order to get married, I have to first go on a date with a man? That's disgusting. I'm gonna be sick.
I'm the type of woman who is sick of not getting approached, so I approach men. Like, y'all have seen me out in the wild. You get me to sniff a little bit of tequila, and I'm out approaching a group of like 10 guys out at a bar. Because that's how you meet people. Because I just don't understand why... If I, as a woman, can get rejected by a man, like, it is so much better to get rejected by a woman. We are so nice 9 times out of 10.
I don't know if that's true. And there are some women that really take a lot of pride in belittling dudes and really being mean.
That can't be the majority.
I wouldn't risk it. I just don't have I wouldn't have had the confidence to risk it. I think men are in a weird spot right now, and young men are in a weird spot right now, that they don't want to come anywhere near sniffing, feeling like they're being perceived as creepy. So they're not exactly sure what their role is anymore. And then when young men talk about it, I feel like a lot of times they are met by women going, oh, welcome to our world for our entire lives. So kind of we're not talking about it in an authentic way.
I do think the creep argument is a little bit of a cop-out because I feel like the female equivalent is desperate. You know how many guys have probably thought that I was desperate or thirsty because I approached them and I made the first move?
I'm in the same boat as Abby. I find the creepy thing like a cop-out, and I feel like then it's like blaming women as to why I don't approach you. It's your fault. And are those instances out there? Probably. But on the whole, it's like, we should have common sense. Not everybody does, but we should have common sense.
I think you guys are doing a healthy share of woman-splaining this morning, saying that you're not really giving a lot of credibility to guys and this sort of attitude that we don't want to be perceived as creepy, because I'm telling you, as a guy, this is exactly how they feel.
But I also feel like I'm tired of being blamed as that's the reason why you're not approaching, that it's our fault.
I can't tell you which came first, the chicken or the egg in this situation, but I can tell you where we're at.
Okay, I got this. Okay, I got this. The oil.
Yo.
What you doing?
Sure.
Are you still interested in me?
Don't you? Just going around to the guy got me that's independent. I don't need no more work there.
I'm tired of being independent. I'm ready to stay in a woman's place. I need a man.
Alright, where you at? Daddy got you.
I'm home. The door gonna be unlocked.
I'm on way.
I am 30 years old. I'm unemployed. I am living off the very end of my savings. I switched jobs 3 times in the past 2 years. I got dropped by the last podcast network that I was with. I have no 401k. I have a very small Roth IRA. I have no desire to get married or have kids for the foreseeable future. And the worst part is, with all of this dysfunction, I'm not even famous. I'm not even considered an it girl by New York Magazine. And more often than not, my algorithm makes me feel like I am completely irrelevant. And I guess all that is to say that I am so not where I thought I would be at 30 years old, or where.
First time watching you. 3, 2, 1, go. Like a bullet. Oh, the bullet. That might have been the fastest thing I've ever seen, actually. Like a blur. Like a blur.
It felt really slow.
I couldn't tell you the difference between you and a jet. You're flying.
Oh, let me do it again. I felt
Okay,
like
one more. 3, 2, 1, go. Where'd she go? She said she can go a tiny bit faster and wants me to film it again.
I feel like my start was bad. Which is like you're blowing up right now.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that was even worse. You just paused. You're also running directly on your heels. That was bad.
Is that not quick?
It's quick.
That feels fast.
Fast.
Now you're gonna try and run. Ready, set, go. Dang it, that actually is kind of fast. It was a little slow. I think I was a little bit faster than you.
You guys have updated so badly. You like walk away going like, mind you, I effed up. Even though I wasn't really even all that sure the guy was even real. But I decided, okay, I'll go. He's something of famous person. Not celebrity famous, just somebody who lives in New York and has been in the news sometime. Guy suggests this bar, so I go there, and I'm a little bit like, he comes in like a minute after me. And when I saw him, I liked what I saw, and I guess it was the opposite for him, because he was not into it at all. Like we spent about an hour, and it was kind of painful. And then he made up this meeting that he has at 7:15 to get out at 7 o'clock. We met at 6. This is coming on the heels of me not getting a job opportunity I was really hoping I'd get. After 7 rounds of interviews and a take-home assignment, I didn't get the job. And now this date with somebody who I'm definitely like physically is my type, and intellectually we would have gotten along, except that there was zero chemistry between us. Because I feel sometimes that like everything's going wrong. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now.
To the thirsty that is leaving sticky notes on my man's car. Text me if you're single with your... If we go on a first date, don't take me to some low-class place like Applebee's. Are you kidding me? Take me to Chili's.
It has been so long since I have been on a date that my mom offered to pay for my Uber. That's where my love life is at. Anyways, I hope he breaks when he sees me.
A few moments later.
So long since I have been on a date.
He told me that he doesn't like pasta, and I feel like I'm really still processing that one.
I'm not trying to put y'all my mama business, but my mama has 2 kids at 24, 2 baby daddies, still got a ring. My mama got the juice, so I know I got the juice. You hear me? I know I got the juice. Ain't no way I'm out here 32, 2 degrees, no kids, a career, and a business. Ain't no way I don't got the juice that I can't pull nothing strong that could last me 30 years. You get what I'm saying? Son gotta give.
We need to talk about the coffee date test. So one thing I don't like is when you're on a dating app and, a guy asks you, do you want to go get coffee? So I don't do coffee dates. So that's what I say. I say, oh, well, I don't do coffee dates. And that's me being nice. And then afterwards, they'll say, oh, do you want to go out to dinner? But it's like, why'd you ask me out for coffee, though? Why'd you ask me? No, you have to understand. Like, I'm not going to let that go. Why'd you ask me out for coffee? Now, I don't know. I don't want to go out with you. Are you going to make me split the bill? Like, why would you say that to me? And when I say that's me being nice, do you know how many times a guy has said to me, do you want to go for coffee? And I say, I don't do coffee dates, take care. Or I'll literally unmatch from them or block their number because how dare you? That is literally so rude. Like, how dare you? Like, you're literally so rude. Like, play that clip of Kim Kardashian smacking Khloe Kardashian with the bag. Like, don't be rude. I will hit you. Not actually gonna hit you because I don't want to go to jail for animal assault, animal abuse, but the fact that you asked me on a coffee date, ew. No. Dinner dates only. And if you don't want to take me out to dinner, that's fine, but go harass some other poor girl and give her your pathetic job interview over a cup of coffee. Don't bother me because I need to stay home and rot.
And this is the loser mentality that a lot of modern women have. They think just because they go on a coffee date, then the man doesn't value them. No, ma'am. This is a more casual, relaxed way for you to be free and to be able to get to know somebody in a less formal setting. It can and will work out for you if you allow it to.
Men can't get a word out. They're just constantly cut off by the women in my life. And so one thing I learned is when I'm speaking to a man, when you're talking to a guy on a date and he finishes saying something, I silently count to 20 in my head.
20.
I count to 20.
What happens in those 20 seconds?
Men always have more to say, and women always want to fill that space. And I've said this to friends, and they're like, well, then when do you know when they're done? And I've told them, men will tell you when they're done. They'll literally be like, yeah, that's it. And then it's your turn. It has transformed my life because there was so much I wasn't learning from men in my life because was like, like, that's how we are. And that's also not a bad thing, by the way. It's just how we are.
If dating was a sport, I would be a gold medalist. And that's because I have world-class mindsets that every girl should know. Many of us experience what I like to call the crash and burn. And this is when you go on a date with a guy and you come home and you go, oh my God, I just met the love of my life. So you proceed to call everybody that you know to say, this is it. I am marrying this guy. I have met him. And then about 2 weeks later, you are crying by yourself in your car because you just realized that they're not who you thought they were. So I'm going to tell you why this happens and how to fix it. So this happens when we assign character traits based on our own character. So we'll come back from the date and we'll be like, oh my God, he is just such an honest, genuine, kind person. No, that's because you are an honest, genuine, and kind person. So you project your own character traits onto somebody else. So how do you stop this from happening again? Is next time you meet someone who appears to be kind, genuine, honest, you approach it with curiosity and you go, hey, this person appears to be very genuine. Let's find out if it's true. Let's wait and see if that turns out to be true instead of assigning that as if it is true when you just met someone. So next time you meet a guy, you're going to approach meeting this person with curiosity and you're going to say, hey, this person comes off as very wholesome. Let's find out if it's true. And then you let the test of time prove his true character. You don't assign it without getting to know them first. And that's how you save yourself an embarrassing call to your friends, okay?
And these modern women be talking about these concepts as if they're groundbreaking. Men been telling you this.
Okay, we're back with Let Her Be Her, and we're here with
Blanca.
Okay, Blanca, so I just had a quick few questions. Do you feel like men are approaching women as much as they used to?
I don't. I feel like women have changed and shifted a little bit with like their expectations and how men are supposed to approach them, which it should just be very authentic and genuine.
Okay, do you feel like women kind of play a part of why they're not getting approached as much?
100%, absolutely.
What do you think is the biggest change? Like, where do you think things kind of flipped and went wrong?
I think that people have expectations and you shouldn't have an expectation. You should kind of just, live in the present moment and go off the energy.
When is the right time to approach a woman?
There is no right time. Everything is divine. Like, you just go with the flow, right? It's your highest excitement. If that's what you're feeling called to do, then it's like, go for it, do it.
So when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
When is it become harassment? Because, when does it become harassment? Let me just get
I
your
feel
answer.
like that is going to be in the core. It's just like, it's what you put out is what you get back. So I feel like there's a form, like, if you're dressing a certain kind of way, then you're opening the door. If you're saying certain things, then you're opening the door. So I feel like it's vice versa, like maybe harassment is like physical, like invading someone's space, like, but I don't know.
Well, you seem like a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Do you get approached a lot?
I do get approached a lot.
Okay. And what would you say is a key factor in you feel like men approaching you?
I feel like it's the energy that I put out. I think I have a great energy, and that I feel like, we all have stuff to learn from each other. It's like, I was given this body. I was given, to where you can't really change that. It just, it's all about energy exchange in this world, and we only get to live life once. So it's like, just meet people, have interactions.
How do you feel about women approaching men?
I feel like, again, it should be their highest excitement, like 100%. If that's what you feel that is necessary, then it's like, do your thing, like make it happen.
Do you approach men often, or do you usually let the men approach you?
I am in a relationship, but I don't, if I do approach a man, it's not because of anything other than like an energy, spiritual interaction with somebody,
So you just got to feel it.
Yeah, you just got to feel it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
You can learn something from everybody. My name is Blanca.
Okay, Blanca. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Let her be heard. We got Blanca in the building.
Yes, let's go.
The death of the real game. Like, back then, you actually had to go up to someone and speak to them, and you'd swap numbers on a bit of paper.
Always go to the bar staff. So have you got pen and paper?
Yeah.
They knew exactly what you were doing.
Excuse me, sorry. Now, a guy will stare at you across the room, won't say a word to you, and will just slide into your DMs later on that night.
Exactly.
I hate to generalize people, put all people in one basket. So if this apply to you, then hear it, heed it, and do better. If it don't apply to you, keep it moving. This is To the fellas, some of y'all are so disrespectful. Some of y'all are so selfish that you only want what you want and you gonna go after it, disregarding all signals and red lights and everything else, just flying right through them. So I can't speak for all women. But for me, when I get on this app, I'm not looking for a man. When I'm out walking and exercising, I'm working on me. Don't come ask me. I don't want to talk to you. If I'm in the gym, I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. There are trainers that I pay. I have a membership at that gym. I pay to go there. There are people there that get paid to help me if I need help. I don't want your help. I don't want you to talk to me. On this track, when I'm walking, I don't want to be bothered. You are ruining my day, sir. Get the phone, please, and thank you. Don't come start no conversation with me. I got a pace. I'm trying to go, and I'm saying this because it just happened. Sir, get the out of my face. I don't care that you back there and hear me. Get the phone. I don't want to talk. Leave me alone. That's why I had to change up my times walking, trying to avoid out here. I've been coming out here for over a year. People that I know, but they know to leave me alone. I speak and I keep going. You knew me out here. You knew me on this app. Everywhere. Look, I be trying to be kind and nice. I'm not an ugly person. But if you ain't taking a hint, I'm not giving out no more hints. I'm just going to be ugly to your ass until you get the phone. You should not be asking me nothing about me or nothing. I bought these. I wear a band every day. Unless I'm at home doing something. And even if I ain't. If I don't seem like I'm interested in talking, pick up the hint and get the phone. Why would you bother somebody when they working? I don't give a fuck. This ain't a job. I'm working on me, goddammit. Leave me the phone.
Now, I'll give it to you that you're married, but this is how a lot of modern women that are not married, that are not in relationships, no semblance of it. This is how they act. This is exactly the way they treat men. But then they be, just like the previous clip, asking questions about, where can we find a good man? Where are all the good men at? Why don't men approach us?
Y'all know something? Why don't men get with other men, be roommates, and build a business with them? Why do you just have to be the one to build with them? That's all I'm saying. Why don't men get together and build with other men and start businesses with other men? That is definitely a thing. It's not hard. Oh, it takes time. But that's a thought of mine. Why don't men do that? Why don't they get together and say, hey, let's do this, bro. Let's live together for 5 years. We're going to split the bills. We're going to build each other up. And then we're going to get established and be able to provide for a family. Food for thought.
Not too much food, though, because the men in the comments ate this right up. They listed examples like, I think somebody said, you've got Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. I mean, shoot, Tesla. We'll throw Tesla in there. What do you think that's about? There's corporations out there that men have built together. Mergers and acquisitions. What do you think men be doing out here? Modern women they be so delusional that they don't think about anything outside of themselves.
I was watching this girl's live earlier and she was talking about self-love and right? And people was all in her live talking about self-love this, self-love that. You shouldn't be looking for a man, blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to figure out, when did self-love and wanting to be in a relationship correlate? So y'all trying to say you can't want to be loved by somebody else and love yourself at the same time? I never understood how y'all can get on here and dictate how other people decide to date. I know people that's married unhappy. I know that's people that's single unhappy. I know married happy people. I know single happy people. There's no formula for dating and when you should date and how you should date and what type of person you should be when you date. Do what you want.
Hold up. You mean to tell me the women, majority of the women are going to Dubai to get pooped on? All this money. We got all this fast food, all these jobs, all these hospitals to make money. But you decide to go over there? I'm really starting to feel like humans don't like to be humans. They don't want to be humans anymore. They just nah, it's too boring. Let me go do something else. The animals are probably looking down at the humans like, I could never. We need Jesus. Some of these people down here need some real Jesus.
When you're at the gym working out and someone asks you, hey, can I work in with you? And it's a gender of the opposite sex, does that mean they like you? Or what? Because I'm delusional to think they're in love with me.
I just think it's a little unfair that guys already know what we're working with as women, but we never get to know like really what they're working with just by looking at them. Like, I have to talk to you and get to know you and all this type of stuff for me to see what you're working with. Like, I feel like that's not really fair. There should be like a more obvious way.
Okay, y'all, don't beat me up because I know how y'all like to tussle. But I find it weird when women get upset about the fact that their boyfriends or husbands or whoever decides to be a gentleman to another woman. Like, I've seen posts that say, oh, if my boyfriend opened the door for me and another woman walked through, you better close it, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, why? Why you don't want your boyfriend to be a gentleman? Why you don't want your boyfriend to stand on business when it comes to women, period? I love the fact that my boyfriend will take care of any woman, and I'm not insecure. I don't feel no type of way. I'm very secure in our relationship. Like, he decided to stop and help this lady right here while we at the gas station. Y'all can't really see him, but she was struggling. She got her son in the car, and he said, babe, I'm gonna stop and help her. And you know what I said? Go ahead, babe, please help her. Hurry up, turn the car around, and help her. Because at the end of the day, it's like, y'all say y'all want women to be protected, black women to be protected, but then when you have a man that do that, you feel some way. You're upset. You start getting an attitude with him. And it's like, for me, I'm sitting right here with my legs crossed and eating my American.
Ladies, the ultimate disrespect to a man is to allow somebody else's voice to have more power than his voice.
Yeah.
That's cheating to a man. If somebody else's voice carries more weight than another man's voice, to him, you just got in the bed with another man.
Yeah.
He really feels like that, right? Why is that? Because it's our assignment to be leaders and have influence and visionaries. So at that point, when somebody else's voice carried more weight than our voice, we feel second, third, fourth. It's a blow to the ego. It's a blow to mankind, period. And he's saying, she don't love me. We equate love with respect.
My God.
We equate love with honor.
Yeah.
So if you dishonor my voice and you elevate somebody else's voice, this means you don't love me. Yeah. The preacher's voice is not stronger than your husband's voice.
Yeah.
Your daddy's voice is not stronger than your husband's voice.
Yeah.
Your therapist's voice is not stronger than your husband's voice. If you want a war, if you want to fight, if you want something that can get infected that will never produce fruit, allow somebody else's voice to be stronger than his voice and show him that.
Just letting y'all know that mouth will turn a man off. You think you can argue with a man all day, be petty, pick fights, be disagreeable, and then, just put some booty shorts on at the end of the night and he just gonna be ready to go, huh? It said men are visual creatures, and y'all will argue about that. Well, so are we. We're visual creatures too. We ain't talking about y'all. We talking about the men right now, okay? So they say men are visual creatures. They didn't say they're only visual creatures. It ain't just that, because y'all, a man not be attracted to y'all, and y'all say he gay or he cheating. It might actually be because of your mouth again. Or y'all will say he got low sex drive. He need to go to the doctor. Something wrong with him. No. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. So just letting y'all know y'all got the physical. Take care of your skin. I'm going to take care of my hair. I'm going to work out. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to drink my water. Okay. At the same time, I need you to work on your mouth, on your attitude, on your agreeableness, on your femininity. I guarantee you won't have no problem with that man when night falls. But it ain't just physical. Just like it ain't just physical for us. Okay? But what do I know? I ain't got no man.
Okay, is it actually true that a guy treats you the way he wants to be treated first, and then he starts treating you the way you've been treating him?
You pick up your hand and hit a man, and the man gives you exactly the same thing back. Don't be surprised that you're on the floor and he wasn't. He's a man.
Do you think it's okay for a man to hit a woman?
It's never okay. It's never okay. However, there are some situations where I could see how it got there, but it shouldn't get there because you should be able to walk away. You should have the gumption to walk away. However, as a woman, the moment you lift up your hand and box a man, to me is fair game. If I take up my hand and punch my man in the eye and he does that back, how dare I say anything?
But he's got more strength.
Why did you hit him then? So the same logic that told you that he's got more strength is the same logic that should say, I should put my hands down here. Because if I hit him and he hits me back, I might sleep.
Hitting the man, like, come on, they can hold it. No. That's what I'm just doing. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay, but why should
That's
he have
it, even
to
though you're
hold
not
it?
the devil.
Definitely. Why should he have to hold
No,
it?
but some would say that.
All right, ladies, I might ruffle some feathers with this one, but here are 4 major red flags that all men notice in women. Let's go. Number 1, non-reciprocal energy. You hear a lot of women in the dating market saying when the right man comes along, you will not have to try. And although it's true that you won't have to try too hard, there's a difference between not trying too hard and not trying at all. You don't have to be thirsty. You don't have to come off desperate, but no man wants to be pursuing a woman that they feel is not giving them the same kind of energy in return. Number 2, unrealistic financial expectations. Somewhere in the modern dating market, we have communicated to women that it is totally acceptable to expect a man to pay for their hair or their nails for a first date, or to even go as far as to ask a man they barely even know to help them with their bills. Feeling entitled to lavish treatment or financial assistance from a man that you barely even know that's still trying to get to know you is an extremely unrealistic expectation. And social media has done a really bad job of making modern women think that that behavior is normal. Let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with wanting a man who's financially solid, but no man wants to feel like they're your walking ATM. Number 3, immaturity and uncontrolled emotions. Immaturity, uncontrolled emotions, acting crazy, all of that has been rebranded recently as being toxic. And there are a lot of social media channels out there that actually glamorize being toxic and encourage women to engage in this kind of behavior. When good men get a sense of that behavior, you lashing out, blocking their number, cursing them out, they either just stop taking you seriously from that point forward, or they don't tolerate it altogether. Because you're coming across to him more so like a child who's throwing a temper tantrum than you are a woman who wants to be taken seriously as an adult. Number 4, probably the most controversial one of all, being too masculine. A lot of women will shy away from being feminine now because of the negative connotation that's associated with that in modern society. Whether you like it or not, the reality is that men like feminine women. Now, this is the part in the story where a lot of women will say, well, it takes the right man to bring out that feminine energy. Although I do think that there are some points of that are true, overall, I don't really agree with that. I think that as a woman, you either embrace your feminine energy and you walk in that, or you just haven't tapped into it. There are so many women in the modern dating market who have hardened themselves to steal because of the negative experiences that they've had with men. Blocking your feminine energy is often a defense mechanism for a lot of women so that they don't get hurt in the future. But don't let the experiences of the past turn you bitter. The reality is, ladies, that there are 2 sides to every coin. And if we're going to talk about the bad traits of men, we also have to acknowledge and take accountability for the bad traits we have in ourselves.
So the Bible says, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. A lot of women think that that is for them just because a man made them a wife. This is why it's imperative to understand that Proverbs 19:14, where it says, a prudent wife is from the Lord. Meaning a woman who is wise, she comes only from God. And in order to come from the Lord, you got to be of the Lord, right? You got to walk by him daily. Obviously, you can't be a worker of iniquity. God has to be your first marriage, literally, before he gives you to a man. If that isn't you and you have not done that kind of work, then you're not a wife, you're just a woman who got married. Makes you a woman of the world. That kind of woman will tear a house down. Talk about rip it to shreds. Take everything you get. Till you limb from limb, huh? You thinking that marriage ain't nothing, huh? It was the man who didn't choose a wife that comes from the Lord, but a woman from the world. Fellas, in order for you to get that wife from the Lord, discernment. Because they don't have you know who your wife is by spirit rather than appearance.
You see, I've been married for 36 years. Successfully married for 36 years. And I learned certain things. Too many married women go to bed wearing pajamas, 90s. I never understand that. What are you scared of? No married woman should ever go to bed at night is when your gets the powers, where the elements all gather up and enter it. When you wake up in the morning, you are empowered. You're cutting your blessings if you go to sleep with. So from now on, every married woman should go to bed without and watch what happens the next day. Ask your husband, whether his girlfriend wears Anyway, you can take it or leave it. Either way, it's the truth.
It's an interesting way of looking at it, but guess I can't be too critical. It's worked for 36 years.
The moment you take your shirt off, the moment you begin to reveal the secret parts of yourself that really should only be reserved for your husband, and you take that and you give that to the world, you will not get that back. That is a level of innocence that will not come back to you. It does not mean that you cannot have a journey. That does not mean you cannot seek healing and peace, but it just means that the moment that you go down that route, your journey will become immensely harder than what it may have been had you not crossed that threshold between having morals and succumbing to this world, succumbing to your flesh, and succumbing to the ideal that money, quick money, is better than me keeping my virtue. That is the trade-off. The enemy say, here's a bag. You say, here's my virtue. Here's $100,000. Here's my innocence. The trade-off is not worth it.
I'm in the singles Facebook group, and a man put up a post saying that he was getting to know a woman. They were on the verge of meeting when he asked her to send him a picture without any makeup on, and she cut off all communication. As you can imagine, that post blew up. So I'm curious to know, what would you do in this situation as a woman? And as a man, what do you think about that question? Do you think that's a valid question to ask? As far as my opinion goes, I wouldn't send the picture, and I would be completely turned off, because to me, you're already implying that I'm trying to deceive you and that I need to send you like photo proof that I'm not ugly. If that's the case, then I can ask you to send me a picture of your bank account. You see how like off-putting that is? And to me, if you're that concerned about women deceiving you with makeup, then don't match with women who wear makeup. I don't know, am I missing something? It's that simple.
And one of the ways that I solved that during dating was FaceTime. I'm going to look at your pictures and see how you're moving in those pictures. I'm going to see how you're moving on camera. I'm going to, like I said, go through those pictures and I'm going to see, oh, she's moving like this. It seems like she's shaped like this, but she's really shaped like that. Even though she's not showing her full body, she's probably going to be shaped like this. The face indicates X, Y, and Z. Is it a lot of work? Absolutely. But I was committed to not taking anybody on a date that I did not want to be out on a date with. I don't want to spend no money on you. Straight up. I'm not going to tell you that to your face. I'm not going to be rude like that, but I'm just saying, absolutely not. FaceTime. And you can see, because a lot of women out there, even though they be watching tutorials, they don't do it to the professional level, if you know what I mean. Like I said, they're really, really good, almost professional, but there's little things that you can look at to say, that's not her real face. She probably looks like this. And some men out there are they're going to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I utilize FaceTime a lot. I didn't waste a lot of time on women that I didn't think were my speed, to be honest with you. Like I said, whenever I was on a dating app, I would read that profile over and over again. I would say, yeah, she's cute. But then I go sit back and think about basically all that she's saying and what type of person she would be. And if I didn't think our pathways aligned, wouldn't do it. There's a good number of women that liked me because of the way that I presented myself. PhDs, master's degrees, very educated women. And I just looked and I said, you know what? She's very smart. She's pretty. We're close. But I don't think, based on her profile and the things that she said, we're going to be able to get along.
Story time on why I stopped talking to this guy. Let me know if I'm valid or not. We're gonna call this guy Jack. I met Jack on Tinder, which is where everyone meets the love of their life because it's the best dating app ever. And for context, I'm 5'3". Jack was like 5'11". I thought that was really short though because I like tall men, and I think like having a guy who like wasn't over 6 foot immediately made me dislike him, which is a me problem. Sorry to the short kings. Jack wanted to move really fast. Like I remember on our third date, he was like, I really want you to meet my parents, and I met all of his friends on like the second date. It was crazy. He was kind of in love with me. Jack was also blonde, and we all know that blonde men are actually evil. Nothing against blonde women. I think they're perfect. Blonde men though, I don't know, they all need therapy. So one night he invites me out to go bar hopping, and I was like, okay, period, like, let's go bar hopping. And this was with all of his friends. And his friends kind of didn't like me at this point because my TikTok reposts were like about like hating men and like being mean to men. I'm sorry, I can't help it. And at each bar we went to, we actually got a free drink, so I was getting a little bit drunk. We get to the final bar that we're gonna stay at, and the line is super freaking long. And I actually wore like a short skirt and a crop top, and this was kind of like in the middle of winter. So me and Jack are in line, and usually when I go out with like my girlfriends, I don't always cut the line, that's not true, but like if I can, I will, like I'll try to like flirt with the bouncer or whatever. And I basically told Jack, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go and try to flirt with the bouncer because I really want to get in, like this bar is packed, it's not working. And he's like, no, like don't leave me in the line, like you're not about to cut. And like I was drunk and freezing my ass off, so I immediately get angry. In hindsight, thinking about it, like drunk me was definitely tripping. I definitely should have not been angry about that. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I'm cold, freezing my ass off in a mini skirt. And I know if I was by myself, I would be able to get in. We finally get inside the bar, but at this point, I'm super freaking mad at Jack because 1, I think he's short. 2, he made me stand outside. And 3, I don't actually have a third reason. I was very angry though. At this point, I'm quite drunk and I hate Jack. So we start arguing in the middle of the bar, as one does, like two people who are talking, not even a relationship. Like, it's very healthy. After we finish our little argument, I'm like, I want to leave. I want to go home. He's like, okay, I'm going to order us an Uber. He tells me that the Uber is here, so we leave the bar, and he then says, hey, it's too packed, the Uber can't find us, and they canceled the ride. We're outside at this point, none of the bars are letting anyone back in, so as one does, I'm like, I have frostbite, I start crying in the middle of the road, and Jack runs away from me. Like, he literally sprints away from me. I'm sobbing, by the way. I then call him, like screaming at him on the phone. He comes running back to me and he's like, if you keep yelling at me, I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, well, you didn't get us an Uber. I'm really drunk at this point, okay? Is yelling always the best answer? No, but in the end, it did give me what I wanted. So we're basically going back and forth. I'm like, where's the Uber? He's like, I don't know, I'm ordering a new one. I'm like, okay, when is it coming? It's apparently too packed, so he can't order any Ubers. And this man literally keeps running away from me because I'm crying in the middle of the freaking road. Like, I'm sitting here crying in the middle of the road and he keeps running away from me because he doesn't want to be with someone who's crying. And I think the third time he comes back, he basically almost gets like jumped by this group of guys because they see me crying, like us arguing, and they think that he's doing something to me. But he keeps running away from me, which is why I'm continuously crying. Because, oh, also he had my wallet, he had my ID, he had all of my identification, and I had a dying phone. My phone was about to die. I'm in the middle of downtown, it's freaking freezing, I have like nothing with me, and the only person I know is running away from me. So I've probably been outside for 20 minutes, like we're going back and forth. He keeps coming back, I'm crying. He keeps running away because I'm crying and people keep like think he's doing something to me. But like I said before, I would stop crying if he didn't keep running away from me. So I think like the last time he ran away from me, as he does, and I'm crying in the middle of the street and this guy comes up to me and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, like the guy that I'm with like left me. I don't have my ID, I don't have my wallet, I have nothing. And he calls me, he's like, where are you? Like, my friends are gonna come pick us up. I was like, okay, perfect, amazing. So this guy is still hugging me. He walks up to this guy, they literally start having a full-blown argument. This guy literally socks him in the face. He socks him in the face, like a good punch, got the shit knocked out of him. His friends come and pick him up, and me. And basically, that was the reason why I cut him off, because I'm like, you literally left me in the middle of downtown crying by myself, no ID, no wallet, phone about to die. And he was basically like blaming it on me. He's like, well, I got punched because of you, because people thought I was hurting you because you were crying. And I'm like, well, if you didn't run away from me, I would stop crying. But to each their own, I guess that was my fault, whatever. So I don't know if I was wrong in that situation, but I basically cut him off because I'm like, I want to feel safe with the guy. And like, if you're going to leave me crying in the middle of the road, we were arguing, which is why he left me the first time. And then I started crying and then he felt awkward. So then that's why he continuously ran away. So, but I was basically like, I need someone who I can feel protected around and safe around. And if you're just going to leave me every single time I start crying, then like, no, this is not going to work. He basically gaslit me though into thinking that I was like wrong in that situation, which I didn't think I was. I mean, I usually am never wrong, so I didn't think that was like the time to be wrong. But, and he was blonde. And he was short, 5'11", under 6 foot. I don't know. I'm going to say that's short. I'm a hater. I'm sorry.
Honestly, both of y'all probably need therapy.